Crunchies, welcome to the channel if you're new, or if you're not, I'm Alicia and I'm stoked you're here either way. Stoked because, are you kidding? We are making Crunchwrap Supremes. No, I'm not kidding. I used to eat Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supremes in high school like every day after school. Well, maybe not every day. I swap back and forth between Taco Bell and Wendy's, but I have eaten many a Crunchwrap in my day, but not so much in the last decade. My struggles with food restriction made me feel like I could never eat a Crunchwrap Supreme. And I am happy to say that since I have found my food freedom, or cultivated it rather, but that doesn't sound as good, right? Cultivated food freedom. But whatever, food does not own me now, and I can eat a Taco Bell Crunchwrap Supreme. But actually, I have made these homemade ones so many times now, and I like them better. So today we are making a remake of the classic Crunchwrap, as well as a vegan version, and then a breakfast and s'mores variation as well. It's easier than you might think. So for the classic, we will need some meat. I start by cooking up some onion and oil to soften, and then adding ground meat of choice. I have done ground chicken and beef before, but today I went with ground turkey. For ground meat, I always start with browning larger chunks first before breaking it up. I find that that browning adds a lot of flavor. So once that's done, season with taco seasoning, or you could just use salt and pepper if you prefer, but it is taco food, so it makes sense to me. Okay, so now we can literally assemble the Crunchwrap, which is most of the recipe. So a few notes. You need to use a large tortilla. I recommend flour. I'm talking the biggest one you can find. I am sorry. I know wheat or almond flour or sprouted might be more in line with your lifestyle choice. From my experience, they just don't work as well because they tend to tear. So first, I take a tostada, which is what gives the Crunchwrap its crunch, and I cut out a tortilla of the same size. Don't worry, we are going to use the rest of that tortilla later. Stay tuned. For the Crunchwrap though, for each one, you're gonna need both a large flour tortilla and that smaller tostada sized one. So let's build it. I usually do more than one at a time. First, to my tortilla, the large one, I add some nacho cheese sauce just in the middle, about the size of the tostada. Now this cheese sauce stuff is the most processed thing I've ever seen. I actually didn't even read the ingredients because I know I'm not gonna find anything good in there, but this does make the Crunchwrap taste better, of course. I only added like a tablespoon, okay? And I spread it out. Some other recipes online, they use this stuff and they add so much of it, so you do you. This is a part of my food freedom. I want it, but I don't need an absurd amount. Okay, on top of that goes the meat that I already cooked, followed by a tostada, which I spread sour cream on, and then I can top that with shredded lettuce, chopped tomato, and shredded cheese. The cheese goes on top because this is the side that's gonna hit the hot pan first, so it will melt. Grab that tiny tortilla that we cut out, put it on top, and then we start the folding process. Now stay with me, it's not as scary as you might think. After folding one side up, you kind of get into a rhythm where you press the side of the tortilla down flat, then fold it over and pleat. Press, fold, pleat. Press, fold, pleat. Continue, and at the end, you will have to press two sides before folding and pleating. If you flip the whole thing over, it will stay together. I assemble all of those before getting to my grill pan. Now, I actually prefer to use a griddle for these so I can do multiple at once because I usually do these with a group. It's a really fun food to enjoy with a group of friends or family. So that gets heated to 350 degrees on the griddle or medium high on your stove. Spray it down, and then on go the wraps, seam side down. Do your best to make sure they're flat. So the first one is the scariest. Once you get a feel for putting them down on the griddle, it's not so bad. I'm pretty good at it now after having done this a few times. So they cook up for 3 to 5 minutes per side. Now, of course, we want that nice browning and we want the tortilla seals to hold. So you might need to hold them down with a spatula or do a little bit of pressing on the heat. Flip, reveal the beautiful browning, and then let it go on the other side. Boom! Crunchwrap Supreme. Who knew it was so easy? It actually is. I mean, all I had to do was cook the meat, cut the tomatoes and the tortilla, and the rest of the stuff was just assembly. So this is pretty quick and it's actually quite filling. I don't know what to say. It's legit, it's delicious, it's fun, it's crunchy, it's burrito-y, it's taco-y, it's satisfying-y, and it just feels good to eat. Our team seriously liked these better than Taco Bell's, and you can totally make them on your own. In fact, I wanted to show you what a vegan one might be like, for instance. So it's really easy these days to substitute. Instead of meat, I cooked onions and added beans and some taco seasoning. And then as I assembled, I used a vegan queso. I used a store-bought one. I think Siete Foods, not sponsored, but it is really good. I have also made a vegan nacho cheese sauce before on this channel, which I will link below if you want to make your own. Then I added the beans, the tostada with a vegan sour cream, store-bought again today, but I have made one in the past and the recipe is linked below. And then lettuce, tomato, vegan cheese shreds, and it all gets wrapped up just the same. Fold it, cook it just like before, just as satisfying, except, okay, I'm not gonna lie, almost every swap here is fine for me. I like beans, but vegan cheese, for me, it just needs to be the real deal. So anyway, here it is for you. It works, it's delicious. Next, let's make a breakfast Crunchwrap. But first, here is your reminder to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future fun food and food freedom episodes. For breakfast, we need to get our components cooked first. So I cook up some breakfast sausage into crumbles. This is pre-seasoned and already delicious. I also cook up some scrambled eggs. Regular old eggs scrambled in a pan, nothing special. I didn't even add salt because my sausage is pre-seasoned and I'm adding some other ingredients with salt into the whole shebang. So let's load it up. I start with that cheese sauce on the tortilla, again, because food freedom, and then on goes that breakfast sausage, the tostada, which I decided to add ketchup because sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, in my opinion, needs ketchup, but you could also do hot sauce. And then I add eggs, some shredded cheese, that tiny cutout tortilla, and the big fold, press, fold, pleat. Press, fold, pleat. Around you go until you can't go no mo. Those go on the pan or the griddle just the same. Get them beautifully browned, admire your work, and then eat them immediately because all of these Crunchwraps are best eaten fresh. That crunchy tostada stays crunchy, but if you wait too long, it will soften up. So I recommend cooking these when you're ready to actually eat them. This one tastes like breakfast in a Crunchwrap. It's exactly what you'd expect. Sausage, egg, and cheese, crunchy, salty, good textures, satisfying flavors, and it's gonna satisfy my body's needs too. This is one of the best for sure. So we still have dessert, but I mentioned earlier that I saved those tortilla scraps. So what do I do with them? I decided to make bunuelos. Please excuse my pronunciation if it's terrible. A bunuelo, as I understand, is a fried dough fritter that's popular in many places around the world, but it's often found in Mexican cuisine. Now, instead of frying them, I am baking them up in the oven. I take the scraps and then I cut those leftover circles of tortilla into 4 pieces. You could make them even smaller if you wanted. I brushed melted butter on both sides, and those are on top of a rack on top of a baking sheet. Then I combined some sugar and cinnamon and sprinkled that on only one side. And into the oven they go. Oh my gosh, this sort of accidental add-on recipe might be better than the feature Crunchwraps. I mean, might be. No, it's not. But seriously, they're so freaking tasty. I could not believe it. They are super crunchy. The butter makes them taste like a pastry, like it's flaky. The cinnamon sugar is sweet and balanced by the salted butter, but the fact that they're not fried and they're this good is amazing. So that is a fun way to use those scraps. You get dinner and dessert with barely any additional ingredients. Okay, let's finish it off with an actual dessert Crunchwrap, a highly requested recipe, surprisingly, s'mores Crunchwrap Supreme? Let's do it. To make our dessert a more moderate portion and not such a dinner-sized experience, I am using 1 tortilla and adding the ingredients into that. So I've got mini marshmallows, graham cracker halves, Hershey's, or any kind of chocolate bar pieces that you prefer. And then I fold and pleat into a smaller wrap. Now, this one is a little bit harder to get tight, but it can be done. Don't overthink it, just be gentle and patient. And then that goes onto the griddle again, seam side down, right onto the heat, boom. Now, if a little bit of chocolate leaks out, don't worry because you're not gonna see it. Why? Because we are coating this entire thing in cinnamon sugar. So I mix sugar and cinnamon, put that on a plate, and then straight off the heat, I spray the wrap and then press it into the cinnamon sugar mixture. Then I spray the other side, flip it and press, and oh yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Again, this pretty much tastes like you'd expect. S'mores in a tortilla. The graham cracker creates this crunch of the wrap, but also the crispy tortilla is a really nice added texture. All around, this is a fun way to enjoy dessert, and making this or any of these crunch wraps is a great activity for a group meal or a treat because everybody can play a part and enjoy. Seriously though, I hope you enjoyed this. This is like my favorite episode since Crazy Spaghetti, which admittedly was only a few weeks ago, but still I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, you will probably like that Crazy Spaghetti one, so I hope you'll check it out. If you want to share this video with someone you know or your social media, that is greatly appreciated. And let me know in the comments, what are your favorite fast food items that you might like recipes for? This could be fun. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I will see you next time with a brand new video. And remember, it's all a matter of mind over munch.